Chad Daybell's triple murder trial is underway in Idaho. He's a self-published doomsday author and the fifth husband of Vallow Daybell. Now, you may recall that she was sentenced to life in prison last summer for killing her two children. Chad Daybell is being charged for his alleged role in the murder of those kids, as well as his wife. During opening statements yesterday, prosecutors said the case was fueled by power, sex, and money. Daybell has pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. So for more on this trial, let's bring in CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roiphe. So this is a case that was very sensational. I think there was probably like a Netflix, I don't know if there's if there wasn't a Netflix documentary, there's going to be one. I know.
We should write one.
48 Hours did a podcast because there's so many sort of factors in this case. But let's talk about what we heard yesterday. What stood out to you about the opening statements?
So I think what you mentioned in your intro about sex, money, and power is interesting, not only in the prosecution's case, but in the defense case as well. So both of them are making a claim that sex, money, and power played a role. But the defense is claiming, the prosecution is claiming that he was seeking these things. He felt he deserved them. And there were obstacles in his way that he had to get rid of. And the defense is claiming that sex, money, and power, he was a victim of this seduction. And he got pulled into this and into her narrative and really had no part in these murders.
Interesting. So one of the expert witnesses that the defense plans to call is a DNA expert who was instrumental in actually helping to exonerate Amanda Knox. Can you tell us, why would the defense be calling a DNA expert in this case?
So the children's bodies were found in his backyard. And I think that the defense is calling a DNA expert to testify that none of his DNA was found near those children's bodies, on those children's bodies, unlike the DNA of Lori Vallow, which was found on a hair in the tape that had taped the children's bodies together. So my guess is that they're using that to distance Chad from the murders. But of course, the prosecution's case rests on a different theory, that he had planned this and was instrumental behind the scenes in organizing.
Right, and when it comes to sort of murder trials, you don't necessarily have to be the one physically doing the murder, but if you're part of it, then you too could find yourself being charged with murder. So what are you going to be watching out for in this trial?
So I think that it's, how successful the defense is in throwing Lori Vallow under the bus. So to what extent they can distance Chad from this and make it look like it was her along with her brother who killed these two children. They were obsessed with this, obsessed with money and power, and he was just pulled along, not part of the plan, but part of her narrative.
It's going to be really interesting to see what sort of evidence they dig up. We know there was a lot of text messages and all kinds of stuff between all of them. I'm sure there's a digital trail somewhere. Rebecca Roiphe, thank you.
Thank you.